It will be here. The costs are 25 euros and you can pay as Tony. It will be at 6:30. Then food will be brought in here and you can enjoy it. So, it's all about food.
Just say yes, yes to all.
Yes.
Yes.
I also have an announcement. I'm the toilet woman.
That's why you wear a skirt.
So if the toilet paper is finished, you have to come. You have to pass by me. Can I call you from the toilet? Yes, SOS. And the money for the toilet woman you can pay to me directly. So.
Thanks, sir.
All about the money.
All about the money.
So, I'm done.
Yeah, that's all. Okay.
It's all yours.
Thanks.
Ja, ik dacht zelf van wel.
Do you have the feeling you want to organize a seminar again when it's possible during this time of influences? And we are happy that we can do it this weekend. I hope you're all okay. And maybe it's a bit exciting for some people to be in a group or being close to people and just feel what's right for you. Whatever you feel is comfortable, just do it. I don't know what you think about now, but we'll see how far that goes. But just feel this space that you can do whatever you want to make yourself feel comfortable. And another thing is we just I talked with you also about it yesterday. There's a lot of things in Aikido like rituals and clothing and grades and titles and organizations and it's important. It's important in a way, and for some it's more important than others. And I think it's also okay. We talked a little bit about connection to a sensei in Japan. So there's importance for sure. I don't want to make it smaller than what it is. But basically, my aim is always to be here and now and just work with the people and there. And of course, I'm sitting here, you're sitting there. That's maybe a difference, but and I want to help you, guide you this weekend into some directions. But it's all about exploring it. So let's just explore what comes up and what I show you. And from there, that's where the magic is. You know what it's how I say it. And maybe you have some feeling like, oh, maybe am I good enough to get to my level, or I have some pressure, like whatever pressure you feel. But it's not there. It's only your pressure. It's only your ID. So we are just here as human beings. We are together, and we're just making the best of it, right? So if it's connected to Corona, I'm feeling safe, or like Aikido, whatever level you are, it doesn't matter. Just you can leave it outside. Sometimes I even wonder, shall I put on these clothes? But yeah, let's just do it. Otherwise, maybe too crazy. Yeah, because this is what we are used to. But maybe also mentally and in like inside yourself, if you have this attitude, I think that's helpful. Yeah. If you have any questions and when we're practicing, just let me know. We're all together. We're kind of exploring this, and yeah, let's see what comes up. We are lucky to have a weekend together, or one day if you come today. And just you have some more time to go into things. So I think it's nice. It's like we're on a playground and we have a little bit longer to play there. So, right, Paul? You ready to play? No? That's what I mean. So inside perception, that's okay. I'll play with you, so maybe it starts up. And we bring Rowan this afternoon. This morning he was already playing all over me when we were eating. So I'll send him to you, and you will start playing for sure. Yes. So first let's sit and just close our eyes for a moment. And you come then. Okay. Onegaishimasu. Of course, we're going to do all the beginning exercises, but maybe before that, it's important to move yourself, right? So maybe we can activate it a little bit. Because you can see a form and you can try to copy it and do it. So for example, you see this movement and you copy it. And maybe if you do it many times, the copy looks quite similar to what you've seen, what you're trying to copy. But that's a good start, but maybe now everybody I see here is doing Aikido for some time, or a little bit less, but just say he was doing it for some time, right? So now it's maybe good to be more authentic and move from yourself. So if you use tanden balls, for example, there are many in your body, but if you use like this tanden, and this one, the upper, the middle, and the below, and if you imagine there's a ball inside yourself and you rotate the ball, and that's all. So don't think about I move my body to this side. So for example, try it now. You move your body to this side and don't think about tanden ball or whatever. Feel how that feels. So from the outside, it looks like my body moves to the side, and yeah, looks like a good movement. But it's empty on the inside, because inside not much is moving, right? So now you feel this tanden ball in the middle, and you rotate the ball. So you rotate the ball to that side, just slowly and softly and gently. And don't, for example, don't go too far right away. Just release, rotate it from the inside, and from there a movement comes. So it's not about the movement, it's about the inner rotation. You just try to wake it up. It's early in the morning, but wake up your tanden ball. It goes really well. And there's nothing happening in the shoulders, nothing in the arms, nothing in your head. Right? It's only this locally, this tanden ball that's moving. Maybe you can expand it a little bit, so the gate tanden, the lower tanden ball is moving, but now the middle one, like in your chest. So you move the lower one, and then this one also a little bit. 1, 2, both moving. First the lower tanden and the middle, the other side. Don't think about I'm going to the side or whatever. Just move those two tanden balls, this inner feeling. Also, when your brain now tries to understand what I'm saying and then tries to translate it to moving of the tanden ball, maybe let it also go away, this thought. Just this feeling, this local feeling in your body. Waking up, also key starts to flow, maybe you notice it if you're sensitive to it. Go back to what we did in the beginning. Just turn your body to one side and to the other side and compare that feeling. If I give it some words, like it's totally empty on the inside. It's like the outside is moving, a big movement of big parts. But if I activate tanden ball, it's really, it's smaller. It's way more active from the inside. like you have a lot of energy available. And then you can also use the upper tonen, jotanen. So 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you use your center line those 3 together. Getting this feeling to be able to activate this inside yourself. What do you notice? For example, your experiences like moving to the side and then activate those 3 thumbnail. Is there a difference? If there's not, it's also okay. What do you notice? Not everybody at the same time, and then we can understand.
Then the feeling I have, the feeling that my hand is leaning. Every time I turn around, my hand.
The head is reading. Oh yeah. And then with the tunnel, what do you feel then?
I feel everything at the same time.
Ah, good. It's not only head, but it's head and heart or chest and the center. Ah, yeah, good. Is anything?
You seem to be feeling into the ground.
Where are you? Oh yeah. And now, what do you mean, sink in the ground?
Because you move, you can only move if you're grounded. If you get the energy feeling that actually touching yourself left to right. And if you keep your center line, I feel more tension in the ground.
Yeah. It's more relaxation on the ground. It's just the weight is there. I will not go too deep because it comes from the ground and you can use your thumb on your ankle and your knee and everything and this all together and your elbow and everything, every joint. But let's just keep it easy to start with. So 3 thumb and maybe if that's too much, only 1, and that will be great already. Yeah, that's good. So for example, can you use this in Aikido? This simple movement, is this useful in Aikido? If you can do this? I see one movement, so yeah. Your left hand, what do you think?
Because it's all about energy.
Yeah, exactly. So for example, if you're here and I have you like this, we can think like, okay, down, up, and I try to move in this direction. So this is really on the outside. Right? So if you do it to me, you do up and then from the outside, and it looks like Aikido. And even when you just fall down unbalanced and you just kind of jerk on the other one like that, push and pull, it looks like Aikido in a way. So, but if you do it again, you can see his structure is just like this. So there's no structure at all. You see, he's just falling. So I touch him while I move past him, and easily I take him with me. But it feels very forceful. Whoa, that's strong. But yeah, it's nothing. So for example, if I have him here, I go up, I can rotate Tandem also like this, right? So if I go down, I go here, down, up, I rotate him and I go down. And then just Aikido is happening, right? So if you come with Munatsuki, I rotate inside, that's what I'm doing. So then it translates in some movement to him, but I'm not moving him, I'm just moving myself. He's connecting to me, he's attacking me, so he's connecting to me, so he feels the effect of this rotation inside. Yeah. So if you do this, then we don't have to do the whole weekend. So if you do it right now, then it's a shortcut. But maybe it helps if you go into those details. So why do I say this? Because we do each knee and then each knee. It's all rotation, like this also. You rotate each knee instead of, right? So maybe if you, sometimes when I focus on this, my technique looks different, or maybe not even good, like from the outside, but it doesn't matter, as long as you're playing from the inside, and then just see what comes up. If you hear all these movements, you just try to play with it from the inside. Yeah? If it doesn't work, then do whatever you want. It's also good. See whatever you want to pick out from this. Yeah. So we go with the movement. Ich, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, ich, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach, mi, sam, shi, ho, rock, sich, ach. Of course, there's more to come, but maybe a small amount of feedback. What do you notice while you do this exercise? Apart from that, another space will be a better feeling, right? Better, huh? But what do you feel with this when you play with this? Is there something you noticed?
Yeah,
Nothing.
there's this tension between the two kinds of two ways of practicing that you presented. So now I'm
What
very,
are the two
very
ways?
sensitive about the two. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm trying to do it and feel at the same time if it works.
Yeah. What are the two different?
There is this. It's not natural, I think, but it's this tension to do it with my body.
Oh yeah.
But it's the awareness to do the opposite. So,
So yeah.
so I'm
Some inner conflict. with
I'm
tension.
exploring.
Yeah, that's a good word. Yeah. Playing, you say always. Huh? Yeah, good. Your brain is used to some way of moving, so and that's a really strong connection. So maybe it's a new one, or it's something developed for some part. So, but let's try to create new paths. You said something. What was
I think you feel a lot of core.
core?
So if you focus on your inner movement, your core is much more enlightened.
Mhm.
So in my mind, I feel like it's radiating when I do it.
Oh yeah. It's really present, huh?
Yeah.
Good. And for example, with the head is a good example. Like if you do like this, each, knee, Would that be okay? Each knee? Most of my students know the answer, so they start to laugh. What how you say?
It's maybe this instead of tandem ball, it's inside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's very simple. It's like this is the structure, the center line. So if I do this, this is out of the center line, so I'm already unbalanced. But I rotate the tandem ball in the center line, so these are all connected like gears. So if I move, I rotate on the spot, and it doesn't matter how far it goes, just activate it. So if you try it first like this, so you break your center line. This is a feeling. Maybe you're used to that. Each and this one. Each. You're breaking the center line if you're like this. Right. So now you keep the center line. You rotate the ball, the upper ball, or you rotate it like this. Or if you go down, you rotate this. It's still in the line, and up is like this. Don't force anything. This feels really soft. Or like there's no muscle tension. It's more like awareness of doing it. Don't force anything and don't make it stiff. Of course the other two are there too, only they are not moving, but it's also active. You're relaxing on the ground. This is a small example. We can go all weekend exploring even those few exercises. Let's not do it. Let's do all kinds of shapes, but it's always the same, so it doesn't matter for me. Maybe like Monday we did 60 techniques, right? Maybe you do 60 techniques, but it's still the same. But you'll be totally absorbed in the techniques and the movements and all the muscle movements, and the one you know, one is not so familiar, so it's not so useful for learning, but you never know where we go. So the next one is just this rotation. You can also use it it's very relaxed. And the shoulders and elbows. And from the feet on the take you a little bit on the trip of what I'm experiencing. So when I'm doing this, it's not easy to be aware of this, right? To move from tandem because you do it for some time. There's some routine. The mind is kind of when something is new, the mind says, "Oh, what's this? It's interesting." And then you see it a few times, and your mind goes, "Oh, what's more around here? What's more interesting?" Right, like a young puppy trying to. You see that? Oh, okay. Next one, so your mind is moving always like that, right? So you're doing this, oh yeah, I'm doing a tandem ball with this. And then you go, oh yeah, I'm working with my tandem ball, that's very good, you should do it like this. But it's good, of course it's nice to talk about this, maybe intellectual transmission of something. But the exercise is to be aware of it. It's not like, oh, I have to be aware all the time, it's really relaxed. But when you feel like, oh, I felt inside, this one was not moving anymore after some time. I was doing this. After some time, I more attention here. Or you could do some thought. And that's okay, but try to go back and gently. Don't force your mind, because if you force a puppy, how does it work? Like, and it was there, and you say, no, stay, sniff here all that time. And what will it do?
Kill you.
Yeah, then it's like, it's like, I want to be free, I want to go there. So it's okay if you want to capture your mind and put it in a jail. It's up to you, and you walk around with your mind in jail, and it's your choice. Because someone said something and you feel it's really important because I heard it, or whatever reason, but you decide to do it. So I only say this is an exercise, I give some tips. It's up to you what you're doing. For me, the exercise is to keep this experience, so keep on activating this, what I'm trying to activate, right? boring, huh?
Yeah.
Some handball. Yeah, that's the feeling. So I just want, and I think that's the really important thing, and also the really difficult thing in Aikido, because before you know it, you're still pulling and pushing the other one, or you're like your fight, flee, freeze brain is taking over, and it's way stronger than us. Right? It's way stronger than us. It's like we will never be able to change that or influence it big time. So that's active. Like if you do this, all your brains like, should I run? Should I eat him? Or this really basic instinct thing is going on. You cannot fight it, but the other side, we have some free part with our awareness, and we can use it to explore. So that's what we're using, right? So we do more exercise, and maybe you feel some moment that you have some fundamental. Those. Down.
Ich, me, some, she, ho, 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 each, 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 me, some, she, ho.
Your left knee up and down. Okay.
Each, me, some, she, ho, each, me, some, she, ho, each, me, some, she, ho. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, rock, sit, hatch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, rock, sit, hatch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, rock, sit, hatch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, hold, rock, sit, hatch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, hold, rock, sit, hatch.
A bit more activated. Maybe it's just we were talking about thunderbolts. I mainly was talking about it. Thank you for allowing me to talk about it. Did you notice anything during all these exercises that kind of caught your attention? Could be anything, like you have to do shopping tomorrow. what really came to mind, like what? Or nothing, you were just like a zombie?
Kind of inner fight between old habits, using my muscles, and the new habit, using my thunderbolts.
Yeah. And for example, what muscles were in your body did you feel that were active?
Shoulders. And yeah, oh, that's not nice. And I felt my shoulder. It was also so kind of reminder, get back to thunderbolts.
Yeah, very good, yeah. That's very good, yeah. So you feel something, oh, that's not correct, whatever that is, but it's not correct. And then you can say, oh, I'm not doing it right, and blah, 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 whatever, down the drain, I'm no use. I go lay down and I cry. Yeah. I don't know, sometimes it happens, right, if you get triggered well. Let's keep it simple, so, oh, it's not correct. But the thing you said was good, it was a reminder, so everything is a reminder. There was awareness, oh, this tension, oh, yeah, awareness goes to thunderball. Yes, and then what happened when awareness went to thunderball?
It went easier and it was more key.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the old habit came again.
And this is goes on and on, yeah, rest of our life, so don't worry about it, that will continue.
Yeah, like the angel and the devil.
Yeah. So then we can say, oh, I want to use more key, but that's not the point. You do something and the effect is that maybe there's more key. The effect is that maybe you become more softer. But if I want to become softer, it's not so. You do something, there's a right attitude, right way of doing things, and the effect is that there's high key. Yeah, that's good example. So,
Especially the hands will move my focus up. So I feel all the time I urge myself to go down.
yeah.
And
what
once I
do you
feel
do?
like this,
Yeah, I know what you
so
mean.
if you're standing up like this, and you're okay. your balance is in your upper body. So
Yeah.
even though you are connected and everything, but just by touching the hands, you are focused up here,
Yeah, exactly.
and then you just move.
And what do? You say this, and what do you do? You do this.
Then I move my focus from this
Uh-huh.
to my feet,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
because
Yeah.
by doing that I'm just allowing everything to
Yeah.
move and also start from the feet.
Very
So
good.
basically,
That's really nice. That's good. Yeah, yeah.
but the touching is a part of me every time.
Yeah.
Also, when we do techniques, I really need to release me from the touch. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Release from the touch to be free from it. Yeah, that's true. Because when someone comes over and then touch here up and then here down, there's
Yeah.
nothing. So yeah. That's really. There was a period that we really tested that. Like you do something and pushing against the legs, and you can. It's good. And then what you say is really good. Like at some point, there's no thought. Right, so you're not thinking about thumbnail balls. So everything I say to you is useless because you get more thoughts. And the goal is to have no thought, just a whole body movement. Right? It just happens naturally. But it could be because of programming, because everything happened in life and maybe before your life or when you were in the womb and then during your life. That the natural way of moving is maybe a bit different than the natural way of moving. So it's good to have a reminder sometimes, but the reminder is not the goal. There's some people like 20 years or 40 years, they're really in those principles still, so they're stuck in it. But there is no principle. There's no Aikido, it's just, again, I want to take it to my normal clothes on, right? But okay, we do an Aikido to remind us. So there's a whole perception when you do things. When you come to me do Munatsuki, right? You come, there's something happening. I'm not thinking about those things. I'm not thinking about, oh, rotating tongue and ball. Sometimes when I exercise, or like things, when I just did it there, then I was really activating it. So put extra emphasis on it. And that's good, because there's a lot to put emphasis on. A lot. Like when I started Aikido, there was a lot, and then now there's even more. And probably next time, after the seminar, I have even more. I will communicate with you, right? So, but that's not the goal. Like the example is when you want to analyze a flower, you take it apart into every chemical detail and every biological, whatever, all these aspects, and then there's a flower. It's like maybe in cells or maybe smaller. It's totally there's a flower. You look at it, and, wow, it doesn't look like a flower. The beauty aspect is not there anymore. Maybe it's there, but it's different. So, and that's your Aikido then. And you're like a can of all kinds of principles and techniques. Doing how do principles and techniques. And oh yeah, this is this, and that's not it. It's just nothing is there. Like before you started Aikido, you were the best in Aikido. But only you need to learn some shapes and some principles, and then hopefully you become the best again. But then in an Aikido shape, right? Whatever that is, every dojo is different. So the shape that you like, what your teacher teaches. That's good. So everything. So local, feet, everything. Right. And maybe you had it also during the beginning, as if you standing after that, and there's just no thought. Just this perception is your eyes at this moment. Your eyes see the things you see, and everything you see. Right. But you can also decide to focus on one thing. Just play with me while I'm saying it. So there's something here on the wall, and you focus on one thing. Still, you see the one thing, but the rest is also there. But if you let the one thing go, you see everything. Right? And this is how you're playing. I'm focusing, I'm releasing. Right? And it's good to focus, but then also to release. So if you keep on focus on a principle for many years, just breathe again. It's like you breathe out, but you don't breathe in. That's okay, but after a few years, you'll be like, I really would like to take some breath again. Maybe a few seconds. Right, so good. I will give lots of these details and really be strict about it, but remember this, just let it go also when you're doing it. Okay.
I want to look at how Uke attacks Nage. And maybe it's good to first know how you can shift your weight while being balanced and connect to something. Like for example, if you stand here over your arm, I can go here and touch it. Oh yeah, I touch your arm and it looks like the form. But if you pull me that direction, there is nothing. Okay? So I can shift my weight and I can transfer some energy to him. It's on a really physical level until really ether subtle level. But if you do it a little bit more physical, I'm standing here and I put my weight a bit forward and then it goes towards him. You can see his skin move and then I aim it towards him to his center line. This whole structure. If he pushes me now, I'm just leaning into it. But if he pulls, it's the same. I'm still leaning into it. So I want to. The aim of this exercise is to stay connected to the other one. And when he does Tenkan, now I'm still leaning towards him. Right? I'm not leaning forward because he's not there. I'm touching here and through here. I'm leaning into his structure. But if he goes away all of a sudden, I'm still stable, right? But you feel I'm leaning on you, right? So practice that I can move like this, leaning to the structure without losing balance. Because if I'm leaning on him, he goes away, fall like this. But if he goes that way, I'm still connected, leaning into him. So I'm always giving him energy. And this is not the end goal, so this is baby steps to be able to do it. Now, for example, if he starts to move, he doesn't move me, he tries to move me, right? Now you move yourself, and I'm in this structure, so that's why I'm moving, because I'm leaning into him. Now he goes down, and now you push me, right? So if he moves me, it's no use, because I'm really stable. But if you move yourself, and I'm leaning in your structure, then I go, and if you go, now you push against me, you feel? You saw his head also lean. This is a signal, but it's the outside signal, but I feel he's pushing me. So I'm leaning into you, and you move your tongue and you move everything, and I'm falling. Right? It's quite easy, but it takes some time to feel it's easy. But you can see when you threw me, it looked like Aikido, right? It was harmony, it was like one movement. So, before we do it, if you stand like this, give your center line, and the point of your center line comes here. Within your feet, you can divide it in 3 parts. Right, if you can see. 1, 2, 3. And this inner third, that's where your space is. It's between your heel and your this point before your big toe, and then the middle third is between your feet and the middle third. So this is your area where I can shift my weight and still be balanced. So try it when you're standing. Everybody's standing like this, like we're really doing Aikido now. Right?
Like it's straight on the boat.
Yeah, exactly. If you keep your center line and then shift the weight a little bit, this is your space. So I'm leaning into the other one. I'm still balanced, but I'm leaning like physically. I transfer my weight into the other one without losing my balance. We did it so many times in our dojo, so oh yeah, I know it, but if you go back to the feeling, it's always good to improve. At least I like to improve. And so, what happens, and my students cannot answer, because it's, you know it probably, otherwise you take off your So, if I go to the edge of the third, try it, you go to the edge, let's say to the side. Now you feel already something happen, and if you go over the edge, what will be the best thing to do at that moment? Do you want to be in this space?
No.
And why not?
But it feels uncomfortable, you are out of balance.
Uncomfortable and out of balance. And those are 2 signals, and especially uncomfortable, like the pressure on my knee is too much. Right? So if I go back to the middle third, there is some pressure, but it's good. It's nice. I can move until this far I can move. So stay away from it. So what happens often, like when you throw someone, for example, this one, so here you go up, and then I want to throw, I go and check this, my middle third. See what I'm doing? And it feels very much, oh, there's a lot of weight moving, and I get pushed away, pushed, here, pushed, but it's no use. If you touch it, and if you do it to me, I can show you. You go up and you just shift your weight forward. See, this happens. So if you train together and you never get this feedback because I'm still balanced when I take ukumi, you think, oh, I'm doing very well, right? This doesn't happen. I'm always inside this movement, and that was enough. And then rotate together. I think if you already do that, your Aikido will be really good. So to show that, but what happens if you go further? Sometimes at some technique, at some point, you have to go further. I cannot, my reach is until here, right? And if I can shift a little bit, I can never do this because I lose my center line. So this is my reach. I cannot even do this. That's too much. So if I want to go further, what do? Yeah. You're stepping. So this is the outside movement of stepping. That's good. So just look and again. So you're stepping, right? So you go to another place. And it looks like outside movement in a way. But I know there's much behind it because there's other style and lots of practice for many years. But how I explain it, if you go to this line and you go over the line, then this one becomes full, it's empty, so you can easily just put your foot there or you come forward. It's too much, then it shifts easily. So when you move, it's very easy to move like this, but I'm still in my center line, even when I'm standing like this. Between this middle point, I'm in the middle third. Always, I'm really balanced. For example, this one, reach. You can stand here, reach. It's no problem. It's not this, reach. Now I fell over. Right? I was at this point and I fell over and I caught myself falling. And it's exaggerated, but this happens all the time. If you look at Aikido, everybody is falling. Uke is falling, and Naga comes and then he falls. So kind of falling all the time. And we have been practicing that when someone's falling, just try to feel it and give a little push. Then you feel almost like this. But if you're not falling, you can push, but nothing happens because it's always balanced. You can go fast, but it's always balanced, right? So try it. If you go to the side, you come in the uncomfortable part, you go to the line of the middle third. And this is, the weight is full on one side, this one's empty, and you can easily go in that direction. You put it down really soft, balanced, and then you shift your weight more. Relax your knees. Your knees are stiff, it's really difficult to do. Relax your knees. Sometimes sensei said like you're drunk a little bit, you stop feeling in your knees. I have no idea what it means. Some people might know. You know? So it's soft in the knees.
This one moment that you make this step feels like when I go to the right and I fill my right leg, when it's totally filled, then I should already prepare my step, because otherwise, I'm out of balance.
Yeah.
So there's this tiny moment, when I have to decide, because otherwise I will be outside of my reach.
Let's look at the model we're using. It's middle third, so when I'm here, even when I'm on one leg, the middle third is in my foot, right? Yeah. So the middle third is always there. Maybe it's like
like extent or like infinitely small going. There's some distance and there's a middle third inside it. So the middle third is so small in my foot, but it's still there. I'm in the middle third. Maybe easy to do is like when you stand on one leg and you go to the side with your weight. You can see how small it is. That's why you also like this, because it's really small, the middle third within your foot. And that's like between the heel and here, like the small toe and the big toe. Like it's a really small area, but you're still in the middle third. And that means it's almost full, this foot, and that's why I can use this one. This is empty. So there's no unbalance. It's just small and becomes bigger again, but it's always there. And just play with it so you understand.
But it also allows you to move back again. Because if you do like this and you need to move your foot, then you're already on the other side.
Yeah, unbalanced. Yeah.
So basically, what you need to do is be able to. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Because any moment could happen. Anything.
Yes.
If I decided to step there, I'm already lost because the other cuckoo will feel it. Oh, you want to go there? You're not here. Yeah, it's true. So there's no weight. Also, when you come down, there's no weight. So a little bit, but it went quite well. Still a little bit falling, catching with the foot. But don't do it. It's always balanced. Play with it. Bigger, mixture, small. This one is empty. You also said this other foot, right? But if you look, if I do middle third and I leave my foot there, try it. You go to one foot, middle third, and leave it. How does this feel? Like I take it away, it's no use. And it's a really strange feeling to leave my foot there. Normally it's all one connected, so normally this comes. This is, it's like when I get this underarm, here this, and I move it, this foot will move, right? Because it's connected, it doesn't stay there. It will be funny. It's on video then when it happens, so let's try. It doesn't happen, of course, because it's all connected. The skin around it, so this set of skin keeps everything together. But there's bones connected, ligaments, and everything. So if you go to this small area, just let it happen, that everything is really relaxed, it just comes together. So there's no moment of, I have to bring it in, because that's an unbalance, because you kind of left it there. Everything is moving here, so it's really empty. You can do anything with the foot, back or forward, or continue the way you want to go. And then imagine if you move like this in your Aikido all the time. It's a really different feeling now. Maybe just play with that. We are not going to do the uka part, but I was just showing you. Then you do some movement the way you like and like it. Just play with it, down, up, and play with it. See how it goes. And maybe you want to do a little bit different. Oh yeah, I fall. Oh, I fall. I catch myself. I go outside. My arm will be inside. And now I go out there and play with, oh, that's a different feeling. Yeah? Then we do some Aikido, let's do it
Sorry? Sorry? I think so. Let's get in the flow of it and I'll try it. disconnection from the centre. Sort of.
Yeah. Yeah, I really felt like it moved from here. So, give it a go. What I've noticed you are seeing
Right.
when you did this,
Yeah.
so just keep
You come out like this, do you?
yeah, and just not to pull this one in, and then also to keep them up here. I always try to do it. If I put it in, then I just start to pull, but if I can do this,
Yeah, from the centre. Okay. Okay. So I'm used to going that and then another style, I think, and bringing them slightly like that.
by the basics, right?
Yeah. Down there, that's the way it is. And you keep them out. And then you go up
Yeah,
and
so you pull
you
it in.
yeah. But here, at that point,
Well,
yeah, okay.
yeah, like that.
Yeah, you're keeping it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was putting this up. See this?
Right. Are you coming back to a T as well? And then going back out?
And then start moving from the center. So now pulling,
Practicing with your fingers Not bringing the army through. So you bring this hand up, this here as well.
Yeah, it's like holding a big
And then you bring it back to the centre.
And then you try to keep your arms in.
When I do like this, it's actually my arms.
Not bad.
Thank you.
So maybe first let's talk some experiences. So what do you notice? So we were working with this inner third. This inner third we were moving, and what do you notice when you play with that? What?
Very out of balance.
Out of balance. And what? Were you outside this space?
I don't know. Like, when I do that, I feel
So it's more active here instead of below. It's kind of natural when it's many new things come towards you. So maybe if you can sink in, and your partner can help a lot. Like for example, if you come here, it's really great to be in front of that. So if you're standing here and you do this exercise, you go next to me and you play with this middle third. Exactly. So now you're kind of thinking. So I want to help you again. Just sink in it. Feel that. And when you move, just feel this transfer. Yeah.
And now I'm feeling out of balance.
So now go back to this middle third. And continue. And relax a little bit. Middle third. Middle third movement. Yes. See? So that's the role of Fuke. So I'm the teacher. So I'm helping. Now I'm talking too much, so please don't talk so much. But I help for the first time. But then I'll be more silent, and I'm just helping her to be able to do it. If I have a little, if you try it again, it'll be like this. I'm well holding stronger. You see, it's already difficult, and then I give some extra really difficult feedback to also deal with it, right? And maybe it's more beginner than this. With advanced is the same. So who are you helping to really hold strong? Yes, but you have to resist and when I fight after this and blah. We're just practicing this, right? So help the other one to get the feeling. In the end, it doesn't matter much. I was doing with some. Can I please? I was doing with some people like I'm here and then, oh, it happens. The other one was stiff and standing there like a rock. What? I'm standing here. We will go into that. Sometimes this situation happens. So then what will be my intention? I'm standing here, I want to go with empty step to the side and shift this middle third. But then I feel some resistance here, like I'm pushing a tree. What will be my intent, my first response?
Push up.
Push here, yeah, right? Fight, flee, and it's stronger than me. I saw somewhere that like this fight, flee response is more than 100,000 times faster than your awareness, right?
after do this, you already, it happened, you cannot do anything. It's so fast, and then you come back to say, hold on, I'm here at the seminar, it's okay, I can relax. This goes really fast. So, push against it. Oh, I not push against it, I just move my middle third, and then it happens. As we were doing it the last, what was your experience when I did the push and then the middle third, and you kept the same kind of rock posture?
At the
You also did, yeah. Well, yeah, please. Yeah.
at the boundary, yeah, you can definitely sort of feel. Well, what I was doing, there's like a hesitation to move my own middle third across.
Yeah.
But it's sort of getting over that and just going anyways.
Exactly. Just stay connected and do it. And not like, it's not there, I'm just going anywhere. No, I feel it, I'm connected, but still I'm transferring in this connection. Yeah. What do you notice, Paul?
Just the do you mean as uke?
Yeah.
The feeling of being pushed disappears completely, and it's almost like you're maybe stood in the sea when you get moved and you can't do anything about it. There's no feeling of where to resist
Yeah.
being moved.
Push against the water of the ocean while you're that's a nice, yeah. I felt like you're a container and I pour water in it, and it becomes more and more and more until it tops over it. That's the same one, yeah. I didn't think about it, but it just came up as maybe an interpretation. But I like the sea. You stand in the sea, you can move and try to stop the sea from moving. Where should I start pushing? And then you said, it's not coming from where I expected it, it's coming from here. And that's why it works. But if you go there where you expect to be pushed, it's really easy to stop. And many techniques are like, if you know where it comes and you feel it, we talked about yesterday, you said it, right? If a form comes up, if there's nothing, it's really hard to, but if a form comes up, you can start to do something with it. It's funny with fear in the dark, because if you're just standing in the dark, for example in a wood by yourself, far away from everything, and you don't know the area, you have no clue how to solve it, just create some situation, you're standing there, no problem, you stand just like here, until you get some shape, maybe there's someone who wants to do something with me, and then all of a sudden it becomes quite a thing, you're really, but if you just, I'm standing here, and there's no way to, how do you say, attach to you, attach to you, right? I would look at my phone, like where's the direction, and go back, or enjoy this exercise, whatever you want. But when fear comes up, you can really, everybody has his own experience with fear. It could be like really massively fear, which is really, it's good to have help to solve it. If you're in this area when fear comes up and you can stay in yourself, you're connected to heaven and earth or Tannenbal or whatever thought or whatever practice is in your system, and from there you're just standing there, connecting with fear. It's nice to connect with happiness, for example, like here we're more relaxed, we connect with relaxation, that's nice, but fear is the same as relaxation. Yeah? No, right? Both. It's not the same, but it's the same. It's just an experience. So you experience uke. So it's a practice. That's uke. It's something else. And it triggers you. It invites you to think in duality. I am going to push you. Yeah, we do it. Aikido's harmony. Then I push you to the ground. It's harmony. I'm coming in softly. There's nothing wrong here. Well, I push you to the ground. Right? But it's not. I'm inviting, there's a connection, it's voluntary. And voluntary, it's giving me ki all the way. Even at the end when I'm moving, still sending ki towards me. Even when it's falling, still sending ki towards me. In the ideal situation, because we do an exercise now, I was looking around, many people fall like this. Yeah. So this is theater. What was I expressing? What was I showing? Falling.
Good, yes.
Balance?
Huh?
No balance?
Yeah, I lost
No
balance.
center?
Exactly, so I fell on the ground to regain balance again. I'm here, and all of a sudden you can see this is a sign. My center line is like this, so I'm not connected anymore. And then outside my middle third, so I'm ready to just drop down to the ground. And this is very common sight if you're looking at dojo. Very common way of falling forwards also. Right? So I was just playing with it while you were practicing. Like if it's middle third, the best thing is to move like this. Aikido is not much like this, but like this. So I'm here, middle third, and I'm just down, down, in the middle third. There's no losing balance. If you want to go a little bit further this direction, I can go until here. Right? I'm on this edge and balanced. It becomes really small. And just a normal stance. So I can, when I go down, I can still extend ki to the other one. Kicking. Or holding and showing like, hey, you're unbalanced. I'm still balanced. Taking you down with me, yeah. Right, so ukami is not falling. If you stand up. And like I said, the best thing is to go down. So get the middle third. So if you stand on one leg, the middle third is in your front foot. So this is empty. You can just put your foot down. It's still in the middle third. Make it flat. And go down, stay in this middle third. So what you see now, your upper body is helping to stay here with your weight. If I was straight, I could never hold it. Right? Try it. If you go down and you keep your upper body really straight, you lose balance. So it's naturally, it's like you go in, and out. In, so you're in the middle third. And from there you rise up straight up. No tension. Try to do that. When you do this exercise from this side, you do a little bit first like a falling motion, and I'm looking at pushing this direction. So you see, you fell to that side. You fell here. There was an unbalanced moment, right? And you're still trying to kind of hold your ground, but just fall down. You can see it clearly. You feel? You're like, oh, I'm falling. Oh. The side wind is kind of pushing me over. But if you do the exercise we just did, I feel the balance on one side. Now it's shifting. And there's no movement at all to this direction. And it's not like I have to withstand this pressure from the side. It means he can extend ki towards Nage. And that's the whole point. I'm extending ki to you. I'm attacking you. Right? So maybe you try it. Just be aware when he moves down, don't do your head here. Maybe one time, but yeah. But just a push. It's just a feeling. Does he lose balance and you fall down? He likes to do correctly, good. It's a small moment you felt in the beginning,
Yeah.
and if you fall down,
Just trying to get on this side.
yeah.
And then
It's
play with it. So with a little feedback, it's
Like een beetje rap meer om te op te stappen.
Ik merk dat
Try the same thing. Maybe I'll go wrong, try it wrong. I'll try it wrong
Zo makkelijk, hè?
Ik ga nog steeds uitstellen, want wat ik doe is omdat ik dat doe.
Still maintain it. Yeah, one question.
Als je hier precies goed zit.
Ja.
Ja, want we hier dus samen staan.
Normale van.
Hij ook niet waard worden wat duwt het. En je gaat focus op je head. Terwijl die hele duizend. Terwijl je het mooi loslaten kan zeggen.
You don't want to do anything on the other side, do you?
Nou, en dat is het. Lijkt ook wel alle kanten.
Ja.
Doe het ook.
Standing new level,
Maar dat moet je wel halen uit alles en niet alleen uit je schouders.
I knew it.
Oh,
I was wondering why well, that way.
When you do this, it's like you're getting away from this little pressure. You shouldn't be bothered with this.
We're rolling that way, pressure going that way, what comes today. Hoe waren jullie gebleven?
Ik was zeker geweest, dus één van jullie is het.
Dit is je kan vanuit hier. Dit is
You like
Please stand up.
Wait voor de camera.
Please stand up. Okay. How do you feel when you fall? Normally, are you out of balance when you're falling, or is it like you're always balanced? Yeah. Yeah, you, of course you are. That's why I learned from you. It's always. Yeah, right. Losing balance is not the problem, just regaining it. It's just in a split second, that's the best way. It's not like, oh, lose balance, and it's always losing balance. And it takes 10 seconds to regain balance, but you can also be unbalanced and just go back and nobody noticed it. Then you look like Thomas, like, oh, he's always balanced. He just recovers very fast. I don't know, but yeah, I know. Sometimes he's also crying on his pillow, like, yeah, last night. No. So what do you feel when you're doing this exercise? What is useful for you?
Well, I was thinking about how to keep balance, but after that release the thought, and I was thinking about, okay, look forward and thinking of my feet, and then I felt like I could be in balance, more in balance than.
Great. Yeah, good.
So
This is an example of the process. So she uses a principle, and then her own teacher, her own awareness, her own life force is guiding her, and she's following it, and it's improving. Right? That's great. So then you don't need a teacher anymore. So why? That's how I'm doing it too. You just try things, and that's how you learn. So that's a great example. And it works even better, right? At that moment, we other things.
I noticed the subtlety of when you're getting up, like that 1/3, how subtle it is where you are. Like if I did it right, I hardly had any like strain in my muscles, but it's so subtle.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Especially when it's a small metal third, it's like millimeters, micrometers, and that's yeah. Maybe another thing is also rotating tandem ball. If you rotate in, you're in and you're out, in, out, and then there's nothing happens. The only thing you do like this, like a pocket knife, right? You just go in, go out, in, out, and then really nothing happens. So let's not do it because all weekend we're doing these exercises, but there's many ways to exercise. Well, maybe 1 minute. Right? So try it. Then there's no effort at all. Please stop. Dit is het draaipunt. Zo. Ja, dat gaat niet zo. En nu gaat hij open. Nou, goed zit niet vast. It's like if you have the left and upper body, like first I'm opening up. Now it's open, it's stretched, right? Now close it again. Open it again. Close it. You have to put out of my hand. Close it. And I open. And I'm looking on this. Dit geniet, dit is een step. De meeste zie je. Zo'n benen. Zo zit mijn zo ja, en net ging jij al doen, zag je dat? Ik zit helemaal niet op. Okay, that was just one moment there. Okay, so ukumi as an uke, we can go down to the ground while staying balanced. That's a good ingredient. And now we are, what I was showing in the beginning, we made it. An hour later, we are there. I'm here and I'm shifting my middle third towards him, so I'm leaning into his structure. But when he takes away his arm, there's no effect at all. But it's not like I'm pushing with my arm. Right? It's not like I'm leaning and out of balance. Right? So I'm just shifting this within my middle third, and I give you this pressure. Right? So that's a start. So please start it.
You can feel the energy pressure away, but I don't contact. Constant pressure kan een beetje bewegen, als je keihard gebeurt met mij. Als je geeft, als je contact hebt. So keep on that. Sounds nice and pretty special. Keep that lake connection. Sing to the bird. Yeah. It doesn't feel comfortable, right? Because you know that
Inmiddels de derde ga je naar voren brengen en dan in jouw zitten. Als je je arm weghaalt. Je leuning zet tegen je aan. Zonder dat je afhankelijk uit de hand bent. Dan geef jouw energie zo. Je knieën is loszakken. Doe je dat ontspannen laag waar arm. Dan ga je met je middelste derde naar voren leggen. Ontspannen en dan lekker die stukje. Een klein beetje verder.
alleen maar wat
Angst hier eindelijk.
Ja, zo.
Weinig niet rekenen maar dat gaan we doen. Gewoon even tussen
Geef jou iets, zeg maar.
Deze connectie, dan
Okay, that's quite simple. So now the next thing. So, did you manage to do it? Or were there questions? Of course you have questions. No questions. It's not so difficult, right? So, middle third. I felt with someone like more muscle in the arm, or why the muscles? It brings unbalance. I just relax, touch, and then from here create this pressure. So again, not very expected it. I'm not pushing here.
No.
I'm just leaning into a structure, right? While regaining balance. So if you do it to me, just relax your arms. Really relaxed, and it's just lean in maybe a bit more. Yes, sure. Okay. So now I'm standing here, so you're leaning towards me, but now I'm here. So I saw you towards me a little bit in this direction, you see? So, but you did quite well already, because I did it with you, right? And you was pushing in my structure, and all of a sudden I was here like a shadow, and you were still pushing there. So your awareness is I'm not pushing forward, I'm leaning into the structure of Nage. I will receive golden nuggets from Nage, right? I will experience Misogi. I will be cleansed. I will be purified. Nage is Aikido's Misogi, and he will perform it on me. He will not push me, he will not pull me, he will show me the universe and all its secrets. Right? He will bring me into a state that's connected to heaven and earth, because he is connected to heaven and earth. Hopefully you are, but right? That's Naga. So you want to lean into that. And if I walk away, you are connected to that, because you're really happy to be able to lean into something like that that's purifying you. See, now I was on my back leg, I rotated, and you saw, now you stop pushing, you thought, now we can do something, because he's still leaning into my structure. Right? So the exercise is, you lean into me, but if I'm doing this movement and I'm still balanced, of course, because he's leaning into me and I'm unbalanced, what happens? Now it's your arm more, right? But if you lean into me and I'm unbalanced, I will fall. Right? So you get feedback as Nage, I have to be always balanced. So you lean into my structure, I'm happy to receive this energy. It's in my structure, I'm not avoiding it, try to go quickly around it and then push it away. I want to get it in my structure. He's leaning into me, he's giving me energy, and while moving I'm receiving this energy. I'm leaning in my structure, yes, leaning in my structure. And this is what we're doing during all techniques. This is a small, easy way to practice the beginning. So you understand? I'm leaning into it. So I'm not leaning forward, I'm leaning into Naga, who's showing me, I don't know, how would you know what I mean? He's helping me to purify myself. And then compare it to the one that's holding, you cannot move me. Right? Do you know that, Luca? Maybe this hand you can do more, you can do it. He's just holding. Yeah. He's holding me strong, he's resisting. Do you think he really resists Misogi when we start to do this? First of all, nothing's happening, he's not attacking me, so it's like, we want to be friends, we want to get married, or how long are we going to stay like this? Yeah. And if it's fighting, it's like, okay, why are you standing like this? It's really easy for you, if you're like a sitting duck, because he's like a dartboard, and he's really stiff, so I'm just throwing wherever I want to go, just do anything, so it's useless to stand like this, right? But in Aikido, it's often like, how do you escape from this, or how do you do this with harmony? It's an exercise, but today, at this moment, we're not doing it. So he's leaning in my structure, he's giving me energy, he allows me to practice. In a way, he's a teacher, because he allows me to get this experience, to get really in this role of Naga, to perform Masogi. So if I lose balance, I will get feedback. Not because he pushes me more, but because he's leaning in my structure. So if I go forward and I keep balancing and leaning in me, so you kind of you also stay connected and it's and leaning in me. Yes, leaning in me. So he avoids me be big, not only focus on exactly. And now we will not do it. I will maybe late. I'm on my back foot. I rotate inside my head, and then we get this movement to the side. Just forget this part. So he's leaning into me, and you go to Tenkan, and he keeps on leaning. Yes? Thanks.
We're now going to keep in the same process. White guy.
Or changing energy.
Yeah. Okay.
Van de keuze, dan kunnen we alleen geen afspraak. Oké. En dan stop. Is dat weer uit?
Last white, don't you?
Dat volgt me aan mij aan.
Yeah, do you go slide back to the two?
Yes. Okay, look, now you shift it here, because otherwise you will focus a lot of.
Yeah,
Now this is okay, the connection. So I give it there.
This moment is really like this. Otherwise, you fall. You fall to the back foot, and then the side pressure you fall. Stay on this level, 100%.
Je blijft met jou in vol ervaren hoe ik je vasthoud.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Proberen gewoon te zeggen, mijn vast.
Okay. Okay, you don't have to sit down because we continue, but we go to the next. So now at the moment, he's leaning in my structure while remaining balanced. Here, just relax, stand up. I'm just leaning my structure, that's all. See? Because this movement creates unbalance inside you. So you still haven't connected yet. You're connected in me. So now when I start to rotate, he's still leaning in me. Leaning in me, leaning towards me. Now you start to move, you see. Otherwise I have to pull you. Yeah? You felt there was a moment like, And I was tempted to pull you, but I said, no, I'm not doing it. Just give me energy so movement can happen. Yes, so there. Now keep on leaning in this, because this is a weak point. If I'm here and you're intent on I'm leaning, and you're rotating yourself, for example, you rotate your thumb angle this direction, I'll lean into you and you rotate, I'll be like this, 100%. And then if you do it again, I will not be like this. That's a little bit you. You were leaning in me, but here was kind of, the key was blocked. So leaning, against me, leaning. And keep on leaning on this point. Balance, lean, more lean. Did you see it went away for a moment and then it came back? And lean, and stay balanced. Yeah, good. And now he was able to maintain this attack, this connection. But I attack to you always, and you have to. It's sending this energy to the center line, this whole movement. So if you do that exercise, I'm leaning in it, you rotate, I'm leaning in. If you continues, I'm leaning in, leaning. This is not the end solution, this is the beginning, because in the end we do it more with awareness, like air. This is more like tangible, like with weight and structure. So try it with the whole movement. During the whole movement, lean into him, don't fall, because that's also a fine line, right? Like you say, there's a fine line between falling and being middle there. I'm there, I'm here. If it stops, I'm balanced, right? But if it continues, I can continue this movement. Yeah.
Blessure?
Ja.
Maar wat keihard.
Ja.
Nou, ik probeer er zelf ook weer te letten op die vastkomt. Daar zit ik voor mezelf wel weer
Did you bring this hand down as well? Your hands stay where they are, and then just fine.
Looks like when you pull the rights
and then just you always stay always the same position. Same position. Just do
Je leun je een beetje daar naartoe zien. Je leunt via de punt leun je in mijn twee. Je moet dan helemaal roteren.
Ik ben even kijken of de laatste koning is aan het wijs. Ik zou dus dan ben ik van hier ben ik afleiding en dan kom je I'm really trying to be
Eigenlijk wil je de afstand houden, maar je blijft wel af. Niet zo, dit is dan dit bij jou. Right now, je zoekt wel dat doen. En naar mij leunen. Maar dit is jouw veiligheid. Ik doe het zo makkelijk. Sterker nog, als ik niet in voel je dat ik het zo meeneem. Maar op zich snap ik jou ook wel. Als je dit zegt, is het ook zeg maar. Zo weer kan je ook veilig zijn.
heel lastig. Je moet gewoon uit de concentreren. Dat is wel lastig. Stay here and I will try here. Ja, dan komt het already.
Kom op,
Energy is coming here.
Als ik gewoon connected ben, nog een keer, wat doen? Ik hoop dat er iets bezig is. Dat is je veiligheid. Voel in jou van afstand, er gebeurt iets. Dan ben ik al bezig. Dat was een thermometer toch aan jou. Bij jou. Misschien shit wel zeg maar. Maar dat is zo ja, ik zag en ik bij jou ook. Als ik dit zou doen, dan voel je van, hé, er is ruimte.
En je zoekt weer aan door dat je
en daar ben ik voor.
Ja.
Our sessions they are a bit short when I really want to go into things, but usually a few more sessions. And this is one is not finished, so I'll squeeze in a lot in 5 minutes. Because now it looked a little bit like Aikido, but like if you start moving like a child, it's more like, oh, I can stand up and yeah, we're here now, right? We're not walking like this. Hopefully tomorrow we're there, but maybe in the next 5 minutes we can, and otherwise somewhere in between. But how does it go? Now you're leaning into a structure which is over and you're just constant. My key force is from the ground. I'm relaxed on the ground. It's through my body. It's connected to the other one wherever he is, and it's constant. I'm in balance, so I can extend. Because I'm in balance, I can extend this energy to him. If I'm unbalanced, I cannot extend anymore. I have to pull it from here, right? I'm pushing only this muscle. It starts maybe here. I'm pulling, but I cannot get it from the ground. So I have to be on the ground and I can push from my structure in the other one. And then continuous, this whole movement. Even in the end when I'm falling, the structure from my feet, this energy goes towards the other one. Right? Always. Right? So that was what you were doing. I noticed something when you were doing that.
Actually, the fighting modus makes me weaker.
The what
The
modus?
fighting modus makes me weaker.
And what was the fighting modus?
Well, as you showed just 1 second before, when I am in this connected modus, connected with myself and with my partner, then I'm much stronger.
Much stronger. Because you said fighting modus, I try to recall when did I use fighting modus?
No, but like if I'm pushing,
yeah,
or when I have my brain on pushing something,
exactly. That's
the fighting mode.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, but I try to say there's no fighting modus. There's not really pushing into the other one. It's leaning into the structure.
Yeah, yeah.
From a good structure, you're leaning into the other structure, but you don't need it. It's not like my third leg when it goes. Or like in a relationship with your partner. Oh, you make me complete. Ooh, that's dangerous. Because when the partner goes away, you're like, oh, I'm not complete, right? So I'm balanced and I'm connecting to you balanced. I'm complete, together we're complete. So fighting mode is different than you. That's why I was thinking, playing with that thought, what you were saying, these words. And then you get unbalanced, but your feedback is I become stronger. When I'm balanced, I lean into the structure balance, I become stronger.
When I'm connected with myself and with the one I'm doing, then I'm strong.
And what is stronger?
Well,
I
feel.
That's okay.
Yeah, stronger is a fighting word, but I feel balanced in every way.
Yeah. Balanced. Yeah, exactly. There's so many words to describe feelings. So we were just playing with it, right? So when I'm leaning into the structure, I can sense the whole structure. So when he's unbalanced, I can sense it, and I decide as a teacher, as okay, I help you to regain balance. If I want to help him, say, I show you there's unbalance, right? I can push him in this direction where, for example, with Tenkan, you had it right at some moment, hit you. I'm unbalanced, then you can sense it as Uken, you lean a little bit more and he falls over. Oh, there's a space. Let's fill it up. I also keep my balance there. Yeah, it's good. Thank you. Your feedback gives me like a structure to show something. So yeah.
The exercise to wait for Uke, the pressure to keep taking it and not going away from it, already turning, and he will follow anyway, so connection wavers a little, but to wait for Uke to keep sending it.
Exactly. So we noticed that also as Naga you're talking now. He's leaning in my structure and then, okay, I'm going, and Uke is like, I'm trying to lean into the draw, right? So who had that feeling, maybe really small, like this connection, this leaning connection, this full, healthy connection, this good relationship became less at the point of contact. Who felt that during the movement? One person, the rest was less aware. Everybody notices it, right? Because it cannot be constant, and it's okay. But notice when this is less, it's no Aikido. It's if you say it in a nice way, we're practicing, we're discovering. You say it in a bad way, it's no connection, it's no harmony, it's an Aikido. Yeah. But we will go into that because you always have to maintain. And as Naga, I have to receive this energy from the other one, always. When he stops sending, then he says, I don't want to be in connection with you. And he said, yes, you want. I hold you and I force you into this connection. And then I throw you on the ground because it's Aikido and it's harmony. Right? I'll repeat myself many times, but it starts to get more clear, right? And this happens inside because you're fighting, fleeing, it's just a human being. Right? So maybe, the clock is like, there's space, I see space. So we do Katate Kosadori maybe, yeah. And then the same thing, and it's the end of the session, so you don't have to pay attention. So just he relaxes into me, he relaxes into me, and people not towards there, towards me. It's me, he relaxes into me, yes. So we're playing with it. going there. My arm is not leaning at me, leaning in this point, right? So still forward, hook is there, I'm still there. So if I come to you, it's very relaxed. I'm leaning into you. You do this exercise with whatever you want. Right? I'm leaning into him, right? So it's really nice. I go to him on a platter. I offer a lot of ki. Just work with it, and it's continuous. You kind of hold in my hand and you through this connection into you. Right? And now you're pulling back and whatever comes, you will see. So just play a little bit with it. Give 5
Okay.
Nice to get come back. Just thinking,
Yeah.
a bit like it's almost like
I'm trying to work out whether I'm being too hard or too soft. Trying to keep here rolling. Okay? Is that okay? Good. More
So if you want to do it better, I will try to put the engine accelerate.
Yeah, okay.
Just so now I will
Okay?
yeah. But I have to get into it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I'm pulling, end up pulling. Okay? feels weird for you, right? Yeah, that's okay. Because you have it. Yeah. And you'll be off way before. Ja, dat merk je. Ja, dat is een beetje veel. Ja, zo. So the technique stops if I don't get it. And it's exactly what happens if somebody attacks you for real. If they start to... Yeah. So if you're just there... Okay. So you can actually then I end up pulling, that's what I was thinking before. So maybe I'm here. Who knows Yeah, because I try to extra stuk chocolade.
Yeah, he's saying I can see
Okay, yes. So 1:30 we continue.
Ja, dan ben ik even bezig. Oh ja.